with it in the who with it. Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and very much appreciative. I know I couldn't do without you. So I was asked a question, what's the nastiest, craziest, trickiest shit I ever seen in prison while I was incarcerated, right? And I seen a lot of nasty stuff, man. I seen vatos take their own head off. I seen, people flood the tears and big old cagada just floating down the tear. I've seen a lot. But this story right here I'm about to tell you is probably the most wildest shit I've ever seen while locked up, right? So listen up close because this is a tricky one. So I'm locked up out of state in the state of Oregon, right? And I'm doing time out there. And it's a little bit different. The politics are different. Don't get it twisted. They'll fuck your whole life off. You know, if you disrespect someone or you get caught up in a tricky situation like drugs or gambling, just like any other prison in any other state, man, there's things you just better stay away from, right? But see, my issue was fighting. You know, because I was from California, motherfuckers wanted to test the ability. They felt some type of way. And I already had to deal with the North and South issue. So I had to keep my head on swivel wherever I went. Because some places, man, Norteños just weren't functioning on them yards. And it seemed like the administration wanted to send my ass to the places that they shouldn't be sending me to, right? Or it was what it was. And every time I touched down, man, vatos got off or I got off. Or it was all bad. I've never had it good. I've never been able to just go to a place and just kick back comfortable. You know, it's always been some drama, some high drama, like high desert type shit. But it was what it was. That's the life. When you're living that life, and see, they never tell you that when you're young. They never tell you, oh, you're a solid homie, you're good. Don't trip, bro. It's all lovely. There's a gang of homies in there. It's going to be good. And then your ass gets locked up out of state and you end up in a place where there ain't no homies. It's all bad, right? So anyways, I remember what had happened this day. What had happened this day to get me into the hole to witness this nasty shit was we were kicking it on the yard. And there was a native cat that used to kick it with us. Real tough, man. He was native. There was 3 Norteños in this building on this yard. And man, we had to stick together tight like glue because if we didn't, shit, if we strayed away, homie, tas, off with your head, right? But for the most part, man, we had been there for a while. So we knew who was who and what was what. And the blacks were pretty deep on this yard. They were pretty deep. And there were some Bloods and some Crips. But most of these blacks were just from like their hometowns. They were like non-affiliated, but they would fuck you off if you acted stupid with them, right? So we already knew when the blacks get deep, and this is the truth, when the blacks get deep in prison, man, they get a little bit louder. They start trying to punk people, trying to take people's shit. And that's just how it is. You know, you got to stand on your toes. If you don't stand down for yours, then you're going to probably get ran through. And that's an ugly situation. So they never fucked with the Norteños for the most part, man. They respected us. There was a couple of vatos that were from Califas, a couple Crips. They respected our get down. So it was all good. You know, I'm sure that they told the other brothers, like, leave them cats alone. Them cats are just trying to get by. But them cats carry big old weaponry, right? Because we had some big old knives at that time. So this native cat used to fuck with us tough. And I remember when he first started, he came in, he didn't really want to kick it with the natives. He was more like a new school native. He was native, but he had short hair. He had a fade. And so he kind of just wanted to kick it with whoever he wanted to kick it with. So he was very cool with one of the homies. It was the homie Selly. So he started bringing him out to the yard. And we, you know, next thing you know, he's fucking with us tough. Hey, I got your back. You got my back. Yeah. And I remember he would still go to his powwows. He would still go to his sweats, his native stuff. But people considered him a Norteño. We didn't consider him a Norteño. But because he fucked with us and he functioned with us, it was kind of like he was, right? Up until the point that we found out what he was really in for. So I've kind of told a little story about him before in the past. Me and this guy got to be very close, man. He was the homie. And he used to try to play basketball all the time. He was kind of tall. Couldn't play basketball worth shit, but he always did. Now, we already know straight up, if you've been doing time for a long time, the blacks control the basketball courts. You know, if you see Mexicans out there, they're playing fucking a different type of basketball. They're playing smear the queer out there. They're playing Southside ball, right? And Southside ball consisted of, vatos wouldn't even bounce the ball. They just throw it up into the hoop. And that's how it was in the youth authority, man. The Southsiders would feel some type of way and go to the fucking basketball courts and try to take over the courts just to start some shit. So anyways, that was him. He was a Southside baller, right? He used to play Southside ball. Vato wouldn't even bounce the ball. He used to be like, look, I can put it through my legs. And just his layups were fucked up. So he's playing basketball one-on-one with this Africano, right? This little light-skinned cat, young cat. I was pretty cool with them. I was showing him how to cut hair because I was the barber at this time. So I'm showing him how to cut hair. Like I said, he's a cool little dude. Non-affiliate, but kicks it with all the brothers, right? And I could see that he wants to like prove himself. Anytime there's any conflict, he's on front lines. This brother's ready to get off, this little cat. And I seen him fight a few times and he had major hands, right? So he was someone like, okay, if something goes down with the blacks, you definitely got to stab him a couple times because he's going to be knocking people out. He just had the natural ability, he had hands. So anyways, the homie's playing basketball with them at that time, right? One-on-one. And what had happened was we're all out on the yard just chilling. And for whatever reason, him and that black dude started arguing. They started arguing and, you know, it's kind of like, well, what's up? You know, there in this state, you can catch the fade. You can catch the one-on-one. In fact, you're encouraged to. Like, if you get disrespected and you don't catch a fade, you're probably going to get fucked. You know, it's probably going to be all bad for you because you didn't handle your business. So, of course, the homie's like, well, what's up? And, you know, I got his back to the fullest. But he has to handle his shit like a man. So, the little youngster, the black dude, I'm like, oh, shit, he done got into it with that guy. That guy got hands. But I had never seen the homie throw some hands at this time. So I'm like, whatever. He's got the height on him. He's got the reach. As long as he throws that jab smooth, he'll be all right. So they go into a corner. They're arguing. All kinds of disrespectful words are coming out. And they run to a corner where it's a bliñas, a blind spot. What I mean by bliñas is the tower can't see him. The control tower can't see him. So it's like a little area where vatos would get off all the time. I mean, there was dry blood and shit in that area. Motherfuckers were really handling their business. So they ran over there, and I'm not going to lie. The first thing the homie did was put his head down and start swimming. Vato was getting his Michael Phelps on, right? And this black dude's just giving him the uppercuts. Just fucking his shit up, right? And I'm getting upset because the homie's getting dogged out. So I'm looking at him like, damn, bro, right? I can't fuck with you. You stupid ass fool. I can't fuck with you, right? He's over there getting dogged out, dog walked, right? By the brother. And all the black dudes are like surrounding it. And I'm trying to tell them like, hey, keep walking. Like, cause that's in prison, that's dry snitching. Like if dudes are handling their business, they're doing a pegada or they're fucking, everyone wants to look. It's human instinct. Like you want to see the drama, you want to see the fight, but you got to do it slick. You know what I mean? You got to be fucking drinking a cup of Kool-Aid and look like that or something. You can't be all up there like, yeah, get him. That just ain't the way it is in prison. That's considered dry snitching. And if they get caught or the cops get alerted because of something you did, you're going to get looked at some type of way. So anyways, these guys are gathering around him. A lot of the brothers, man, they're telling the little youngster, dog that motherfucker, get him, right? And I'm feeling some type of way. And I'm on the yard and the two homies that were with me, they work in the kitchen. So they were at work. So it's just me and the native homie, right? So I'm looking to the other natives like, you guys hear this shit? And they're just like, whatever. You know, he don't kick it with us. That's on him. So this guy it was pretty much me and him. So I'm hearing this. So I'm telling fools like, keep walking, motherfuckers, keep walking, right? And there's a black dude on phones. There were some phones outside, like a bank of phones. He was an OG, probably like in his 50s at the time, kind of yoked, right? And he's like, yeah, fuck that Mexican up, right? And when he said that, I said, what? Right? Because first of all, the homie wasn't even Mexican at the time. He was native, right? But this guy got immediately on the racial shit like, fuck that Mexican up. Yeah, fuck that. Show him how blacks do it, right? And I turn around and he's on a phone or he has the phone in his hand talking that shit and he's laughing. Whoever he's talking to, he's like showing off, right? Oh yeah, the little homie's over here fucking this essay up, right? And I turn around and I said, what about you? And he said, well, what about me? And I just grabbed that phone out of his hand and started hitting him with it. Boom, boom. So the homeboy's chunking him over here, getting beat up. And I started chunking him with this OG and all the brothers dispersed like, oh shit, right? Because I'm over here hitting this motherfucker with the phone. I'm trying to crack his mask. I can hear his people on the line. What's happening? This was happening, bitch, right? Boom, boom, boom. Cops come running. They run right past me and the black dude that are fighting right to the homie because they spotted him. And so the black dude kind of backs up. I back up. Then the cop sees that we got into it and he comes snatches us all up. So they put us into the hole. So we all go into the hole. And when we go to the hole, it's single man cells. That's the way this hole is, right? So the native homie's down the street. So I shoot him a weed. Like, damn, bro, like you got to step your game up, do some more burpees or something, because he was out there getting smashed. He was like, damn, that fool had major hands, bro. I didn't know he had it like that. And then I gave him the pass. I was like, yeah. So then another norteño from another building comes, right? And he gets at me and he's like, hey, bro, then what are you in here for? I said, oh, back that dude Nick up, that native dude. He's like, bro, that dude's a rapo. And I said, what? And so he brings out some paperwork, some newspaper clippings. I guess they had found out that this dude was in there on some wild shit. So now I'm feeling like a stupid ass. I done picked up 180, 6 months in the hole, right, for an assault or for a fight. And, here it is. I fought some dudes over some fucking dude that I shouldn't have fought him over, right? But you don't know. Like I said, we checked his paperwork. He was in there for a shooting. We just didn't know about his past, right? So he's trying to get at me. I cut him off like, man, you fucking weirdo. I'm cool, right? So the OG black dude, I apologized to him like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have got at you like that. Here's the deal. And he's like, nah, it's all good, youngster, man. I apologize to you because I did make it a little racial. And so you stood your ground. It's all good. Like, so we were cool. So anyways, I had to do 6 months in this hole. And this hole sucked, right? The cops were terrible. The food was horrible. You never got yard. Yard was non-existent. I don't even remember. To this day, I can't remember one day going to the yard. I know they used to put you like in a cell. That was like your yard time. You walk around throwing a handball in the cell, right? You got showers every few days. It just was a washed up asshole. That oil right there was meant to break you, right? And it did. I seen so many people J-Cat out, pop their sprinklers. When people pop their sprinklers, because there was these sprinklers, if you hit them with the chancla, put your toothbrush, boom, you can pop them. Water goes everywhere on the tier. And when a dude does that, he either J-Cats out or he's suiting the cops up so that the goon squad would come in there and beat the shit out of him, snatch him up and take him to a segregated cell, right? So I seen a lot. Well, there was this big old fucking marrano that comes in, just a big fat fucker, right? And I remember when he walks past this, there was a white guy that was my neighbor. And he was like, oh, man, that dude's a disgusting motherfucker. He was like, hey, bro, you know what that fool's in here for? I said, nah, that fucking eating too much or what? He was like, nah, that fool fucking, he done did some wild shit with his own kid and shit. I said, oh, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. I said, that's his business, bro. And again, man, it was comadre and shit. There would be a lot of people on the tour. They were so bored, they'd spread rumors and shit. And here's the thing. In prison, everyone's business is their business. That was white business. He was a white man. That was on them to deal with him. If the door's cracked, and I'll just sock him in his fat stomach. But I didn't know if that's what he was really in there for, if this dude was just hating. But then a lot of people start fucking getting on this dude's head on the tier. They're like, hey, what's up, fat ass? And they're on him. They're like, just going in on him. Double wide. And so I didn't bump baking soda breath on the door. I would kind of just listen, chop it up with the fools around me. And that's how I was doing my time. I was getting close to, hitting the gate, getting close to getting back out on the linea. I had about 2 months left. And these guys used to, I guess you would call it bully. They'd just be on him all day long. Just every time he'd go to shower, they'd make fart noises, and just when he'd walk by. And he never said anything. He put his head down. He was ashamed because he knew that everybody knew what he was really all about. So I seen him, and I mean, you could see the stink on him when he'd walk past. Just a disgusting individual, right? And one day he walks by, and I'm reading a Louis L'Amour book, kicking back. Because let me tell you what I used to do. Like I said, they'd starve you out of existence there. My get down was I'd wake up, they'd feed you at like 5 a.m, right? They'd give you your tray and your sack lunch. So I'd get up hella early in the morning, bust down, take my little bird bath, and I'd wait. I'd be at the door impatient than a motherfucker for that one pancake, right? And so they'd usually give you your breakfast, and it'd be like a hard-boiled egg, 2 pieces of bread, not toast, but just regular bread, some butter, some oatmeal, an orange, and toma. There you go. There's breakfast, stupid, right? And I'm like, damn, motherfucker needs to get out bad. And then they'd give you your lunch, which consisted of another piece of fruit, a little pack of cookies, a green ass piece of bologna or mystery meat inside like a plastic. It was like vacuum sealed. 4 pieces of bread, some mustard and mayonnaise, and there you go, baboso, right? So what I would do was I would fucking take that egg from the tray and the 2 pieces of bread, and I'd put that to the side. I'd make me an egg sandwich with and I'd slice up that meat, and I'd throw a little bit of meat in there for flavor. And then I'd make 2 other sandwiches. So I'd have like 3 nice chunky sandwiches. And we weren't allowed commissary, just hygiene and paper products, just like writing materials and hygiene, religious materials. No food. This motherfucking place was fucked up, right? And so motherfuckers was hungry. And so I would eat my oatmeal and my orange. That'd be my breakfast. And I was hungry because I just worked out. Then I'd try to sleep a little bit, until lunchtime. And then I'd have my 2 sandwiches, my regular lunch, and I'd save that egg sandwich or meat sandwich for later on. And after dinner, I'd add a little bit, make another sandwich. And so I'd have 2 little late night sandwiches. And that's how my program was every day. That's how I was able to sustain in my mind that I was actually had food, right? But really, it was all the same shit. I just stretched it out. And I'd be in there hungry. So I was reading my book and I was eating a sandwich when I almost threw up on my own self, right? I smelled fucking stink, like bad. So I jumped up on the door like, damn, did someone just fucking shit bomb me? And when I stood up, this dude's walking by and he had shit all over his face, right? And the cops, they got their shield. They would wear these shields over their face. And they're like, they're taking this fool to the shower to hose his ass off. And the white homie that's next door, he's like, hey, bro, did you see that shit? I was like, what? He's like, that fool, you know what that fool does in there, right? And I was like, nah. He said, that fool's so starving. Because he's a big dude. He's like, he's so starving. That fool's in there eating his own shit. I said, no way, right? So there was this cop. He was a sergeant. He was cool, man. I'll never forget. He used to like pass notes for people and he send messages to the different units, the different lockdown units, to your homies. He'd be like, hey, you got another northerner that pulled up. He got off. He's in the hole. I'd be like, hey, tell my semis, man, let me write a little thing out for him. Boom. Nothing tricky, nothing hot. Just, hey, bro, saludos. I'm over here, bro. If you need anything, I don't got shit, but I send mines. Right? Shit like that. So this fool comes to my door one day. He's like, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man? Shoot me an orange or something. Shoot me an extra tray tonight. He's like, I got you. He was cool. He used to shoot extra trays to who was solid. None of the weirdos. So I'm like, oh, the double up. That's cool. Tonight we're going to have fucking chicken too. I'm good. I'm straight. The double. So I'm all sparked up and he was like, hey, did you hear about that dude? I said, what? He said, that fool's fucking, he's dying, bro. And I said, who's dying? He said, big fat fucker. I said, what happened? He said, the gases and the fucking disease and poison from his shit. That fool's been in there for the last 4 months eating shit. I said, no way. He says, yeah. Shit sounds, I couldn't believe it that someone would do that, right? Hey, when they opened this fool's cell, I walked by to go to showers. When they opened his cell, there was shit smeared all over the place. He catted out so bad. He was so hungry, so starving that he started to eat his own feces, right? Shit happens in prison. It was the most disgusting thing I ever seen in my life. And according to what this sergeant was telling me, that this dude, he ate that stuff and it gave him like gangrene inside that. This fool passed away. This fool literally passed away from eating his own shit. Hey, at that point when that happened, I remember when that happened, we all wrote like a petition type thing and all signed it. Like, you guys got to feed us more, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are going to all start eating their shitters. We were trying to hustle, right? I ain't gonna lie. They started to give us, for a while there, the double bag lunch, double sack. We were all sparked and happy. We were like, damn, hey, you eat your shit right there. So we can get the triple up. But that was probably the most disgusting thing I seen. I didn't literally see him eating it. I've seen people do that though. Smear it all over their windows, all over their face. I always wondered, they'd cat out and just go crazy. But that was real, man. That vato really did that. He did pass away, man. I guess the caca exploded in his stomach. I guess it's supposed to go out, not in. But yeah, I remember, man, they used to starve us. I remember it was Thanksgiving and we were all happy thinking, this was my first Thanksgiving in that hole. And we were thinking like, oh yeah, man, we're going to get something tight, right? Shit, you know what they gave us? 4 small little chicken nuggets. Didn't even look like chicken nuggets. It looked like fucking popcorn shrimp, right? 4 little nuggets, some rice pilaf, some jello, a little piece of cake like that big, and a milk. There you go. Happy Thanksgiving. I was like, oh no. The biggest portion on the plate was butter. You know what I mean? Hey, the butter, they give you a big old scoop. It looked like mashed potatoes. Motherfuckers be in there like, oh, hey, you be imagining that the butter's a fucking ribeye steak. That's how bad it was. So I tell people this. I say that to say this. You go to prison, you're a heavyweight. Let me tell you something, bro. You're not going to be a heavyweight when you get out. Especially not in a hole like that where they starve you out of existence. And, that was probably the nastiest, ickiest shit I ever seen. But again, he was a fucking weirdo, so whatever. Shit mouth. That's just what it is. But I've seen people get shit bombed. I've seen people, what they used to do is, man, they used to make these little spears when you'd walk by. And if you had an enemy, they'd make these spears, and you didn't have holes in front of your doors. Not until I went to the shoe, then there was holes. It was called IMU over there. They had holes in the front of their, but they had like a sideways door. The doors, there was like a little gap. And people used to fish, throw your line out that way, or you could throw it up under the door. They try to shoot spears at you with dipped in shit. It was crazy, man. I'm just saying, man, prison is not everything people think it is. People out here gang banging, doing crime, thinking, it's going to see all right, cuz I'm going to go in there and have it my way. Shit. Fuck around and get a celly, it might try to eat your ass, right? And motherfuckers get hungry in there. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to drop a super wood later on. This one is going to be probably the best super wood of all time. So make sure you guys tap in later on. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I'm going to continue to do what I do right here on the Collective Clips, man. And that's provide the best entertainment that I can. This is the gun. Bang, bang. I want to smell like caca when you walk by. That want to, you know what I'm saying? I almost threw my sandwich up. I'd have ate that motherfucker anyways, though. For real talk. I was starving. The gun.